Go live on yours. Go live on mine. What? Hello, everybody. I need to adjust them. Jamal wants to go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Talk with Jim and Ash. I'm Ash, and he's coming, guys.
She keeps doing that.
We're ready. It's already adjusted. It's already ready.
I'm Jim. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Talk with Jim and Ash.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Ash. And bump. And sip. I have to fake it, y'all, because this stuff be hot. Because I put mine in the microwave.
I'm going to push mine back some. I want to get a wider shot of both of us.
Why you want them to see my cleaves?
Oh, you're so goofy. There we go.
So what's your side manager number 2? Hold on 1 second, guys. My daughter's trying to ask me something.
Why don't you push yours back too?
Okay, you want me to push it back a little bit more?
Yeah, get a wider shot.
Let's see. There we go.
And turn it.
No.
Turn it in like.
Oh, see, you want to do too much. All this wider shot stuff. We still ain't. We've been doing this since what? We still can't get it together.
No,
I don't think it's meant to be.
No, this is fine. This is better than what it was. So hello.
If you speak louder, I can hear you, but I can't hear you right when you're whispering. Anyway, my manager number 2 is trying to tell me something, guys, and I don't know what she's saying. She's whispering.
Okay, so welcome to April, everyone. So this is Coffee Talk with Jim and Ash. It's the month of April.
It's it is Sunday. April. First Sunday, Communion Sunday.
I mean, first off, April has been a great week so far. This weather is so lovely. It's been sunny and cool.
April has been a great week.
Yeah, so the first week of April has been a great week. Yeah.
Well, that sounds better than April has been a great week. April is a month.
So far April has
been your first statement was so April has been a great.
So far April is what I said. So far April has been a great week. Exactly. So yeah.
It's been a great week in April so far. That's what you should have said.
Anyway.
I'm not in your camera. See, that's why I said you shouldn't have tried to do wide range. Now you halfway off. I'm halfway off.
It was fine before you touched it.
No, it wasn't. I was halfway off. But anyway, guys, today's topic is going to be faith over fear. And y'all have heard that saying so many times. But before we get into our topic, let's review what happened. Anything happened with us this week?
Anything big happened this week?
Any praise reports?
Okay, praise reports.
We're still here.
We're still here. I just say this: we came into some money. How about that? Without saying too much, we came to some money that was rightfully ours.
It wasn't like money that was just.
Yeah, it was. It's not new money, but it's
money that was ours.
It's money that was ours, and we came to some money. We was very happy to get it back. It was a little bit of a hassle, but we got it back, and so that's.
We had to thank God. That was a praise report because we could have lost it, and there was no.
We were considering
a little bit of money.
We were considering legal action, but
all kind of stuff.
The day of the legal action,
this girl don't play. I would get whoever I need to get involved to get what's mine legally, especially when I have a contract.
Yeah, so we were able to get so thank God for that financial blessings there.
Answering that prayer. The church we go to, New Faith. So far, I like it. Bible study. I look forward to going to it every Wednesday. I look forward to going to Sunday school. It feels good when you're excited about going to church. You're just looking forward to every. You wish Wednesday can come faster, but you gotta wait.
To be honest with you, I really enjoy the Sunday school. We have some characters at that Sunday school class. I think they should actually do a live video that we have some characters. I'm not gonna say anybody's name because but there's one person I really like. He just stands out. He always talks, gives his commentary, and
okay.
I guess I got a text message. Sorry about that. I was reading. I know you guys can't see.
He doesn't know how to do 2 or 3 things at once. See, like when I get a text, I'm like. And then I keep on talking, but he has to stop and focus in.
But no, I had to focus in because that's our marriage mentee, so we have to make sure that they're okay and make sure it's not like an issue. So yeah, but anywho, so we have some characters there. It's really enjoyable. Well, first off, when you go to a Bible study or Sunday school, you should be learning, and also so that's what's the first part. I love the learning aspect of it. And not too many churches now have a Sunday school. I mean, a lot of churches are going away from
and
it.
especially not as big as a Sunday school class on Sundays. This Sunday school class probably got like 50 people in there.
Yeah, it's packed. Like you can barely sit down in that, Sunday school. It's awesome. It's like most of the time I went to Sunday school in the past. It's like it was hardly nobody in there. But this church is like, man, people really come to Sunday school.
I also love their choir. That choir is not my gift. It's not my ministry, but I do enjoy a good choir. And I will say, give New Faith a shout out. Their choir is the best choir that I've heard. I gotta say ever. I really do. I'm not even
say ever. Wow, ever.
I mean, like as far as out of all the churches, yes, out of all the churches, yes,
out of whole life,
yes.
Your life, a life, a life. What they say?
How many years have I been on this earth?
No, it was live, live, live,
live, live, live, live, live, live. That's what she said. Just live, just live your life. Hey. See, that's why I don't sing.
Yeah, stick to your day job for real. Yeah.
You don't sing.
I didn't have to tell you that. You already knew it.
So. That's why I don't act. See, and they talked about that. They've been talking about spiritual gifts in church lately, kind of in Sunday school.
And that is not your spiritual
gift. And they
gift.
said, act in your gift. Like, don't try to do something you don't good well.
You know very well that's not.
And I've never tried to. I had one prophet, so-called prophet, tell me, "Girl in the green dress, you're called to sing," and I'm like. Oh, you lying? I never went back to that church again because
that's a good. We should make that a topic. What should
you do? Lying?
What should you do if you get prophet lied to? Like, should you expose?
Never go back to that church.
I mean, of course. I mean, you choose that, but would you take it unto yourself, say that's not my calling, or right there, then and there, or just
maybe when I walked in the church, it looked like I could sing. Maybe it just looked like it. Do I have that look, y'all? Do I have to look like I can sing? Can I fool people?
And I wonder how many people out there in the internet world, social media, believe in prophesying still. I personally do, but also it could be just in error as well.
Girl in the green dress. I'll never forget it because I had a green dress on. Mm-hmm. He called me out. That was my first time visiting church and said that I'm called to sing. I need to, use my gift. And I'm like, I never went back because I'm like, that is far from my gift.
Mm-hmm. And so just have to be careful if you're a prophet or you claim to be a prophetess. If you don't know, you just don't know. It's I think sometimes it's become a show more so than just like a real calling in that particular walk, and that's why a lot of churches will go away from prophesying. But yeah. Let's talk about. It's a little bit. What else? Something else happened this week. I might be missing something.
Well, our kids got into an altercation at school. Our child. And so I'm not going to go into detail, but just want you all to know.
You say he got into a fight. Oh, not really. No, it wasn't really a fight.
Another student hit my son. I didn't want to go into detail on that. But just, as parents, have a talk with your kids to know what's going on. Let them know what they can and can't do. Now, me personally, I have given my child permission to fight back. And I told him that I will handle the
consequences. Don't just say fight back. He's saying it wrong. Say defend himself.
Defend himself.
Yes.
And so we will handle the consequences after the fact,
defend yourself.
Just defend yourself. That's what we believe. Some people believe like you should talk it out or whatever. That's not me. If somebody hits me,
you can talk it out after the fact.
After the fact, you can, but not during.
Because people, unfortunately, especially kids, those that if you don't defend yourself, they see that as a weakness, and they will continue to take advantage of you.
So you have to step up, give them one good. I tell my children, sometimes you just need to give a person one good smack, just one good one. You don't have to go 2 or 3. Now, I've never had to do that in my life. Well, I did fight one time when I was young. Yes, I did. My brother will tell you. If I could call my brother right now, he'll say, Ashley is crazy. Boy, y'all know the ones that don't look like they can fight be the ones that can fight. That's all I'm gonna say. The ones that don't look like they can fight.
So that means you look like you can fight. So that means you can't fight. Okay, got it.
I look like I do look like it. Okay.
So you said the ones that don't look like they can fight. So that means you look like you can fight.
I don't get it. Anyway,
you like you can't fight.
My brother said I'm crazy, and I believe my son. But speaking of that, it's
a sad way. Something else.
That segue to the case about the guy that was bullied.
Exactly.
It happened in Texas. And to the story at a track meet. No, it was in Dallas, Frisco.
Okay.
Well, a teenager stabbed another kid, and he died at a track meet. And so he said he was acting out of self-defense. And what I don't know. How do you feel about it, Jamal? Like, do you feel he should have to be in prison for life? He's never had any problems with his life. He's a 4.0.
He's not in prison for life. He's in jail.
I mean, in
apparently.
jail.
He's been
Do you feel like he should be charged
on the $1 million bond, which is ridiculous?
No, they charged him with first-degree murder. Do you feel like that?
They charged him first-degree murder, but he's on the $1 million bond in jail. So
right. But do you feel like he should be charged with murder? What is your take on that?
I don't believe. The thing is, he can be charged with murder, but the thing is, he shouldn't be in jail though, because he's not a flight risk. He's not okay. So, and I hate to, this is going to be political, and I, take sides of race, things like that. But I had to go back to the one case where it was a kid in Texas. This was like a couple of years ago, where he was just drunk and he killed the whole family basically. And the judge said, because he was so-called
intoxicated.
No, intoxicated. He didn't understand what he was doing. He was I forgot the word, but basically affluent. That's it. He was too affluent to go to jail. So, but he actually killed them, being irresponsible. He killed the whole family, and the judge and the jury found him guilty. And the whole time he was not in jail. And the judge said he's too affluent because he doesn't understand the consequences of life, of his actions and everything. He doesn't understand good or bad. He just he has all this money. He was too affluent to go to jail. And so in that particular case, he didn't go to jail, and the judge was completely off and wrong. Now he was on probation. He was on house arrest for for a certain amount of years, I believe. House arrest. He didn't even go to jail at all. And after that, he finally went to jail when he tried to cross state lines because when you are house arrest, you have a monitor on your ankle monitor, and so he went to jail, and his mother went to jail. But the thing is, it took almost like the act of Texas Congress to get that person in jail for that particular case. Now I know this is a different case, but I'm saying though, we had one person killed multiple people for being negligent and being drunk, and then this person, honestly, it should be self-defense because Texas, you do have a stand your ground. Texas we are in a stand your ground state, but it seems like, unfortunately, when it comes to minorities or black people in general, that when we stand our ground, we still go to jail, and which I don't like that. So he could be charged with first-degree murder, but he should not be put in jail. These are the charges here. They would go stand your ground until further investigation proves that these charges are hit. So I don't believe he should not be in jail at all. It's it's an investigation, and for what and then how the press, the media tried to spin it. They tried to spin like he had the air gun, like one of those paintball guns.
Mm-hmm.
He had that in his hand, and they tried to spin it like he was a criminal basically, and he's a straight A student. And
very responsible,
very responsible.
That's he says, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
He doesn't get in trouble. And they tried to make it seem like he was
He's a very good kid.
He was looking for trouble, and so that
I believe. I don't even know. I'm just basing on what I see on the internet, what I hear, and what I hear on the news. I believe that he was scared, and I think that he acted out of fear, and that's going to lead us into our topic: faith over fear.
Mm-hmm.
I think he acted out of fear, and he wasn't even thinking at the time that he was going to kill him. I really don't think he was trying to kill him at all. He was just, again, acting out of fear. So I personally feel bad. I mean, I don't believe in killing or murdering anybody. I feel bad for what happened for both parties, but I also feel like he shouldn't be in jail. And I mean,
I feel again, and don't get it wrong, though. The child, the child that lost his life, I do feel sympathy for his family, his brother that lost, but our actions do have, just like honestly, if it was a reverse way around, and you have to ask yourself really this question: do you really believe that other child would be in jail right now?
I don't think they will be. I think they'll be out on bond or whatever.
They would have a bond,
but I think they'll be out.
And then not only that, it would be like, the community trying to get him to go to jail. So
right, it would be the community trying to get him to go to jail at this point.
Because he had never served time. So I think then why?
I saw there was a GoFundMe. I don't know if this is accurate, but it was a GoFundMe, and it's probably people trying to make money off of the family to I guess they said it.
Trying to get him out of jail.
Get him out of jail. I don't know if that's true.
But $1 million bond, though. I mean, are you serious? So, I mean, what risk does he have to try to escape? He's not going anywhere. I doubt he's going to go anywhere. He shouldn't be. Like I said, they could charge him with first degree. That's
they let people have smaller bonds than that that kill people.
Yeah, but $1 million is that's more so like he does not have a history of criminal history or anything like that. The bond is very excessive. He should not be in jail for that. At the very least, I say, at the very most, it should be no more than $100,000. And I can understand that because it is a murder, so $100,000. But again, with his record of history, but now that now because the internet is fighting back against the media's narrative, they're showing the deceased showing that he has real guns. It's multiple photos I've seen online that he has real guns. They're just trying to show you that, like, hey, you can't go by a picture, and try to paint a narrative that this person was like a criminal or anything like that. None of the kids, both the victim, both of them were victims of a circumstance. None of them were criminals. Both the twins, the boys, they will get kids. Kids, unfortunately, we do fight. They fight. Should there be a consequence for the kid that's in jail? I do believe there should be a consequence, though, because at the end of the day, he did kill someone. Because, at the end of the day, when you go to a track meet event, do you supposed to have weapons?
But again, I think just to get back to our subject is faith over fear.
Yeah, this is what
I believe he acted in fear.
He did act in fear.
And so let's talk about that. Faith over fear. What does that mean to you?
Faith over fear. So, of course, and
we hear that all the time.
We hear it all the time to have faith over fear. But, and even, sometimes even when preachers are preaching about having faith, to me, when they preach about a certain thing, it kind of like, expels fear to me. Like,
it does, but it's tough, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm afraid of different things, and I know I shouldn't be. Because I am a believer in God, but it's hard being a human being. It's really hard to, when you're in a situation, to put your faith over that, and you're supposed to. I know that, and sometimes I have to ask for forgiveness. Like, Lord, I'm so sorry for being afraid, for being this way, and I'm not for even thinking this way, Lord. And I just have to pray to Him that help me to put all my trust in Him, and then like react. And I think but that situation, him acting in fear, if he would have put his faith in it, what would have happened? Like, I mean,
it was more so faith that, so honestly, it's a hard situation because the thing is, I don't think his situation, you can say that is fear, but I don't believe there's truly fear.
I think it was. What do you think it was then? If it wasn't fear,
I think it was, he's a teenage boy and he's a black male. I could say more so pride. I think pride took more so than fear in this particular case. This is the reason why, because we as a people, and we know the history of black people in America, so we've gone through slavery, Jim Crow, and then we go through some unfair things in this country. Now we are in a better place. I'm not one of the people that say that we're not, we are in a better place. But the thing is, the history of it, historically, we have been through a lot as a people in this country, as many people, but none more than us. So I'm sorry. Besides Indians, besides American Indians, we are the most that have been going through a lot. So I don't think it was fear. I think it's more as pride, like saying, like, say this big two white people try to tell you to get up and move, even if it's not your tent. And it's like, who are they to tell me this? They white. I'm just because I'm black. That's immediately thinking, like, as a man, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not afraid of you. You think I'm afraid of you because you big and all this stuff, and because I know when I was this age, and I got in a fight with some white people in the past. I never was afraid. If anything, I was angry.
So if it was prideful. 2 black men that attacked him, if it was 2 black men, football players, and you're a track runner, and let's think about this. Mm-hmm. Football versus track. When you're a track athlete, you're small. Like, naturally, you're just a small person. Football players are usually big and built. Mm-hmm. So if there was 2 black men on 1 black boy, what do you think the result would have been? You think he would have ran, or you think he would have stabbed?
It could have ended up it could have actually ended up the same way, possibly. But as an athlete, I think it's still more so pride. Like you ain't gonna tell me what to do. I don't care who you are.
My question to you is: so you're saying that you think
Black
it was
or white.
pride
I think
than
it was
fear?
pride. I think it's
So
more
if it
pride
was-
than fear. And then I guess the fear might have come in too because it's 2 against 1.
2 against 1. I'm talking about if it's 2 blacks against 1 black. Yeah, and you're talking about 2 big old, let's say 250 pounds versus 170 pounds.
I mean, I know they in high school, but they ain't that big.
250? They could have been. Yes, they could have been. They swole. Okay, well, 200 pounds versus 150.
I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. They do have some big line.
You gotta remember, muscle weighs more than fat.
No,
yes, it does.
Those kids, I saw those pictures. Those
muscle
kids,
does weigh more than fat.
I saw those kids, those young men.
Okay, 225. They were swole. They were like 6 something.
Yeah, they 250 though.
Okay, well, 220 versus he probably was like 170, if that. He was probably 170. So that's a lot of weight. That's a big weight difference.
Yeah. So the thing is like like again,
that's like me and you. If you came after me,
like
I ain't gonna. What else I'm gonna do?
Let's put it this way. Say it was you and I, right?
Mm-hmm.
And well, in a sense, I guess I could say I fear for your life.
If it was 2 females versus me, I'll be scared. I ain't gonna lie.
No, so say you and I are just like going out on a date or we're walking somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a crowd of men. It doesn't matter, black, white, whatever. It can be any nationality. Doesn't matter. And the other day said they try to attack me, right? Mm-hmm. And so in that particular case, I'm fearing for your life. That's a
but
fear.
You're not fearing for your life.
I'm not fearing for my life because because if I die, I'm just.
So you saying as a man, you wouldn't fear for your life if 2 men are after you?
Because I'm just defending myself. Because again, and maybe it's just me. I'm not afraid to die like and I'll go out in a fight. I'm gonna defend myself like I'm not gonna let you take my life. I'm gonna do everything I possibly can. What that means, if it's you or me or a group of people who have a knife, a gun, or whatever. If I got to take you out to preserve my life, I'm not afraid.
And that's what the guy did. He was trying to preserve his life.
Yeah, so that's why I say it's not fear. It's not fear. I really don't think it's fear. I think it's more so I'm just going to defend myself. And I'm not going to let these 2 bullies, from his point of view, try to tell me what to do. So I don't think, and since there's 2 people and they're stronger than I'm gonna pull out a weapon because it's unfair. So I got my weapon out to make it as close to a fair fight as possible. They didn't back down, so I stabbed him, and he, unfortunately one of them died. But I don't think it's like a fear. Like now it's me and you out there, and somebody I fear for your life, and I'm definitely like you ain't gonna kill my wife. So you kill me.
You gonna be scared for me, but you're not scared for yourself.
I'm not scared for myself, no.
But I'll fight my own ground.
No,
you know what I'm saying? My brother said I'm crazy.
No.
I'm from Mo City, so
now I'm not gonna lie though.
I got hood in me, right?
No. Stop it.
Most
Stop it. Now
I do have. I am hood.
Now, if it's something that would be fear for me,
will be fear for you. A roach,
a giant flying cockroach. That's gonna fear. That is fear for me. Like I'm like, baby, I don't know if I could take this big giant roach. You might be on your own on that one. That's
he really is scared of roaches.
That's bad.
He is scared of roaches.
Like, babe, I'm sorry. It won't even be. I'm sorry.
One roach, he'll use about a half a can of spray.
Like it'll be like
dude.
It could be. We could be
that
walking.
Roach is dead.
We could be walking on the street, walking. I see like a couple of roaches, and then the cartoon like, pew. That's me. You like Jamal. I'm gone. I'm sorry.
No, it's just a roach.
It's not even like a discussion. Like pew.
And that way, like I said, if we have a roach in the house, like one of them big old cockroaches, that boy will use about a half a can of spray on one roach. And I'm like, Jamal, it is not. He be
I can't stand those things. That is fear.
It's bad. And then you have this whole puddle of roach spray that you got to clean up.
Yeah, that's fear. But in that case, I think he honestly, I wouldn't call that fear. But I do want to talk about something that is fear, right? Faith over fear. Okay, that. Because I keep hearing it over in churches. I'm not. Cause I go to a black church. We've been to a couple of black churches, and I keep hearing it over and over. Is like the fear of the the political environment in our country right now, and I keep hearing it.
Well, all the pastors I've heard have been saying, God is going to be in control of everything.
No,
so they saying they bring it up, but because they know their followers are like afraid. So that's why they bring it up.
That's where the faith comes in, right there. To me, if that's where more faith should come in instead of being fear. Like, okay, cool. I don't care what administration is in running things right now. To me, it's like you shouldn't even have to talk about it. After a while, I was like, okay, cool. Is it, how is it affecting you on the spiritual level for real though? And the other day, I know everything is not spiritual, no things are physical too, but it's like
physical.
Yeah, like like physical, like in the physical world,
okay.
like y'all can touch stuff. There's a spiritual warfare, but there's a physical warfare too, and there's a mental warfare. But it's like, okay, how often do you have to bring it up to because I heard it multiple times at different churches, especially in the black churches, that they are fearing the administration, and actually they get.
So maybe we should go to a white church and see if they're the opposite.
Oh, definitely. You know it's gonna be the opposite.
So what? I mean, that's just what it is.
But the thing is, so it's like, look. It's like, okay, like like your administration is like, okay, I hear like this food running things, or from pastors, or like or like.
Well, okay, I will say this
because you bring it up, because it's not really true.
If it's true, because somebody's a fool or not. If they're a fool or not.
So
come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
This is the thing, though. Okay,
get in camera.
So this is the thing.
Let's be honest. Do you know you can't tell a fool from a regular person?
No. So my thing is this:
I can't.
If you have to continue to bring something over every other Sunday then that's a true fear for you. Because the thing gets to me. If I trust God, I'm gonna talk about it one time. This particular fear, it was really concern to me, because outside of like that stupid fear of a cockroach, whatever. I believe God's gonna sustain us no matter what. I might get bothered by it, but I know that God has got us. But I don't care who's the president, who's the administration. God has got us, because God is the one that sustains us. He's proven it more and more. He surprises me. It's like, honestly, although I kind of expect it. But still, it's like some of the things we've been through is like, man, God has really got our back. And I'm like, I cannot believe this is actually happening. Like us getting our money back and all that's from God. And I'm like, wow, I never expected this even get it. And God protected us and through that. I was frustrated and everything, but God,
He's still being here.
You still being here. It's a testimony that God got our back. So the thing is, though, when stuff like this, it's like, why do I even have to talk about this? My faith is sustained through God. And so I hear in the earth, like in the black church here over and over again, like this administration or the governor of Texas or this and that. That's a fear that you have to bring it over and over again. That you have, like, are you fully trusted in God? You have to continue to bring it over and over again.
Well, I have a transparent moment for you, or a moment I never told you about. But like, when I had my stroke and God brought me through it, I was like, I'm still like a different person, change. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I wonder, like, why did God, what was his purpose as far as like allowing me to have a stroke? Is he preparing us for something? Like, and that's the fear I have. And I'm just being honest with you. Like, okay. I'm wondering, like, hey, is my time coming up and God giving us a little bit more time? Is that why he gave me the stroke to like, and let me live through it? Is it to kind of say, your time is coming up. So, but I'm going to give you a family.
How you know it's your time?
Huh?
Give me my time.
That's the fear that I have. I'm just telling you, like, sometimes I think like, why is God allowing me a little bit more time on this earth? And that's a natural fear that I have to pray against. Like, why would he give me a stroke? And why would he give me a stroke and allow me to live and like allow me to still be able to talk, be able to walk, everything? I know it's a miracle and I thank God for allowing it, but that is my fear, and that I have to keep praying, God, please take this fear from me. Like, I want to be here for my family. I want to be here with you, and I want to live for a long time. And I don't know why he allowed it. And sometimes it's just fearful, just thinking about, why did he allow me to be here after that stroke?
Yeah. That's a good,
it's not a good fear. It's not a good fear,
but I think death is a common fear among people. I don't care, what background.
But you say you don't have the fear of death.
I don't have a fear of death because, one, I feel like, I prepared, and I don't want to die. That's saying I want to die anytime sooner than God has, but I want to live a very long life, at least to the age of 70. That's why I want to live at least to 70.
In my prayer, I ask God to allow me to live, and this is how I comfort myself. I say, God, I've asked you to live at least until I'm 70. And they said, ask and it shall be given. Knock and the door shall be open. So I comfort myself by saying, you've asked God to let you live to 70. So why think about it in fear that, okay, you had a stroke, but you're still living. why sitting there thinking about, okay, maybe God has given me a time to, say I love everybody and forgive everybody before he calls me home. I don't know.
The thing is, we don't know that, but we all ask. I pray that both of us live at least to 70, and plus some of it, if God allow it, but at least to 70. I
want us to go together.
Okay.
I want me and you to go
wants
together.
To go out like the Notebook.
Yeah. Well, like I want us to go out together.
We be in a retirement home. Okay, baby, hold my hand.
We gonna hold hands and go together.
Hand. Close your eyes. I'm here right with John.
Not right now. Not right now. Look, we want to see our grandchildren. We want to see our great grandchildren. I want to see all this, but it's not our will, it's God's will. But it's just a fear. I don't know if anybody has ever had fears that Jesus, and that your faith is supposed to, be stronger than that. But
so like, was it the book of Lamentations or Leviticus? I think it's Leviticus, but they talking about, thing is, when people were born, the people were mourned when the babies were born, and then when people went to be out in the glory with God, they rejoiced and celebrated, and it was like a whole reverse of what we have today,
right?
And so I think honestly, the reason why that is because it talks about because when you're born into this world, you have to deal with the temptations and problems of this world. And then that when you leave this world, you're not dealing with the temptations and problems of this world. And then if you were a believer before you die, you're going to glory. So it's like, it's something better, that's expected. And I honestly believe as Christians, although we can have a fear of death, I think that if we centered our belief system kind of close to how the Old Testament had it back in the day, like, man, and we live accordingly to how the Bible says, it's like, okay, yes, we'll miss the person that has left us. We will miss them, but we won't have a fear of it happening because, like, guess what? They's going to glory. It's like there's something outside of this world, that going off the glory, and like.
And I think my fear comes from like having like my children, what are they going to do? But I have to believe that Jesus will take care of my kids.
He took care of our family.
He took care of our family the whole time, so he will take care of us. But
then after that, the way you live, that should be like a testimony for your children. Like, my mom and my dad, they taught us even up to 10 and 12 years old. They taught us, to love God, to love Christ, and to behave and be well mannered and respect people, respect the elders. So you have to trust that, and our kids surprise me, all the time too, because it's like the things that we have taught them, especially when they're random with it, like all of a sudden it's like, that's not supposed to happen. Daddy taught me, or mommy taught me this. Aren't you supposed to be
married before you have kids?
Yeah, all that. So I'm just saying, like, it's like, whoa, you really caught on to that? Yes, that's sticking with you. You hearing that? And when you hear your kids, it's like, wow, are you serious? I mean, that's such a blessing in itself. So me knowing that they are, that not only have we taught them, but they are actually retaining it, and also sometimes they regurgitate our life lessons to them. That's confidence, and like gives me such a calm that, like, if I do go, that God is gonna, like, we already planted the seed. I think God is going to continue to nourish that seed, although it's going to be hard for them for a moment because they're going to miss us. But I believe that God's going to continue to nourish them and make them better. So, so that's why I really don't have a fear for myself for death, because, and then plus personally outside of the spiritual realm stuff, we do have life insurance to help them out.
And, life insurance. And speaking of that, I'm going to take my I'm taking a class on life insurance and health insurance and all that good stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to educate people and educate myself and us more on it. But I just know how important having life insurance really is. And so
it's very important.
I want to educate my community on it and make people aware that you should get it. It takes the burden off of your family when you are gone. And because God is going to call us all home. We all have to die. There's no way around it. You're gonna die no matter what.
All of us gonna die.
We just don't know when.
We just don't know when. And so if you already have it, like while you have breath in your lungs right now, while you're up and running, go ahead and get life insurance is very affordable. I mean, term life insurance is like that's the cheapest life insurance you can get. and you can get life insurance for just burial expenses. Like, you know, I don't need to have like $1 million. I want to have $25,000, $20,000, and that's so cheap. I mean, that's really cheap. Like, you know, 50,000. But I'm just saying though, you can get term. And after that, if you have some type of condition to where, like, you know, health, because the thing is, life insurance is mostly determined by how healthy you are too. And so if you do have a illness, or, you know, a terminal illness, then you can get a whole life or universal life insurance, which is a little bit more expensive, but it's still life insurance. So, but if you're healthy and you have good, just get term life insurance very cheap, especially when you're young. So yeah, reach out to us right now. Reach out to me.
Right now, reach out to him. I'm not licensed, but I am the one to get licensed. I'm excited about learning more of it. I started studying about it, and I'm getting ready to become an expert at life insurance and health insurance and all that stuff. So
yeah, she gets something. Yeah, health insurance. I don't have my health insurance license. She's studying for the health insurance license.
And I'm doing that because I have a nursing background. So I'm like, I know the terminology, but I don't know how the insurance part of it works. So it'll be good to know how that works as well.
Yeah. But basically though, you know, as Christians though, I believe honestly that as no matter what the situation is, like, okay, cool, you can have a fear or a situation, but I think eventually nothing in this world should just have us fear to where we are talking about it all the time consistently, because eventually our faith is supposed to be in what we believe in God. So it kind of brings me to a little bit down when I hear like church is always talking about the current things, like, you know, of being fearful. Like, you shouldn't be fearful. But you talked about it last week. We talked about it last month about the, you know, look, that's what happened. That's the world stuff. You know, keep going, keep moving forward.
But you know why pastors do that is because you got to remember, not everybody goes to church every Sunday. So some people go to church once a Sunday, and that may be their first time hearing it. So that's why pastors do that. It's not like they're
having an encouraging word, but you have to talk about the fearfulness of it. The thing is like, look, I could talk about, like, you know, unemployment, right, fired, all that stuff, without mentioning other circumstances that may have caused it, like, you know, or any political party or anything. I could say, hey, look, if you got laid off or you just lost a loved one, you know, your faith is in Jesus Christ. But in addition to that, if you want to, we have people here at the church you can come reach out to. We'll be happy to talk to you, walk you through it. But it's no esteem, weight, and circumstance. I want to continue to talk about, like, you know, this is a fool running the office or governor or whatever. It's like, because to me, it shows me you're more fearful of it. It's like, are you really faithful to God and moving on, or are you going to continue to talk about this particular one subject? Not, you said, but no, just like there's a whole bunch of smaller little things that lead up to, like, being fired, or losing a loved one, or being sick or whatever, without always talking about bring something political into it.
That's well, they do that too, because they try to make things like current. So what's going on right now? We know what's going on. They have to preach on current events at the same time.
Do they have to really speak?
They don't have to, but
they can speak straight from the Bible.
People can understand it. They do that. They compare what's going on currently to what's in the Bible, and so they're making a comparison like it's all the same.
But you can still, okay.
Like today, he said, "What's that place? Caesarea? I forgot. Caesarea. He compared that to how, back then.
And also, too, look, one thing he did do too is you didn't even mention that. I wanted people picked up. I know you didn't pick up on it because it's dealing with sci-fi. He was talking about the sci-fi.
I saw that. I was waiting on you. I know you got excited. He talked about AI. Yes, he did.
He's talking about a movie. It was a sci-fi movie. He must have recently watched this sci-fi movie. And then he would compare it to Bible scripture. So I was like, it's a movie that's out.
And do you find a problem with that?
Huh?
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a movie, though.
Exactly.
But the thing is, though, all right, so yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you brought up to that exact point. Now, next Sunday, do you believe you're going to talk about that same movie?
If that movie had that much impact, and his sermon he probably will.
He's not.
Pastor August always talked about his mother. Like every other Sunday, he talked about his mother.
Pastor August. About his mother, but that's personal to him, though.
But maybe what's going on?
He didn't talk about the macro of the world. I'm just pointing out. Happening.
No, I'm just pointing out that it's okay for pastors to repeat themselves, because you got to remember, you might have heard it this Sunday, but the other person didn't come to church until for another 3 weeks, so they didn't hear it.
Okay, so I guess I could kind of talk. I mean, maybe in the sense of like when COVID was happening, right? COVID was happening.
They talked about that for a long time. They'll still talk about it
because that's the situation of everything that was happening. But it's kind of like
Guess what? They talked about that for a long time. They'll even bring it up now. So I believe that once the political climate changes and new person in office, if there's something to talk about, they'll talk about it. But if not, they won't. And they have to do that because COVID was scaring people. They had to talk about it.
Yeah, COVID was scaring people. I mean,
it scared us.
Yeah, yes. But this is what I think, though. I think COVID in the political environment of the situation is slightly different because you actually have people, like a lot of people dying, and then the whole world, like our whole way of life was changed. Right now, what's going on right now? Our way of life has not changed for the majority of people. Only a select few of the population has it has changed. And some people have lost their jobs. People in the government, yes, I say that some people have lost their jobs for DEI, but for the vast majority of us, especially after it has not affected us like COVID affected everything else. So why is there such a big fear? I can understand the fear of COVID because people knew people that were dying. Like we knew people that died, people that got sick who personal to us. So I can understand that. But this environment right now,
the reason why people are fearful, and I don't even think they're fearful. I just think they're concerned.
I think they're angry.
I think they're concerned because you have supposed to be the leader of your country, and whether you agree with me or not, we know he don't have all his marbles. I'm not even trying to be bad, mean or something, but we know he doesn't have all his marbles by the way he talks. And so it's just a point of you don't want somebody that makes you concerned. Like, man, how are people gonna look at us? This person talks like this to people, and because I agree with a lot of their policies, but I just don't agree with the person that's over it because I'm like, I don't want people trying to go after us because of this person that don't have all their marbles. Got
it, but has America to this point has the majority of people died?
I don't believe so. I don't believe that's the case.
No, that's the whole point. If anything, is like I said, like 5 years ago, the political environment was COVID. But the thing is, I completely understand the fear. For me, from my perception, I can understand the fear because people lost somebody or knew somebody got sick. We got sick from COVID, and then after getting sick, it's something that can cause people to die. It was lockdowns, everything changed. So there was definitely understandable.
I'm sorry,
fear.
I have to bring this up. I believe you had COVID. We said this before, but I think he had COVID before it was known. And I believe God protected us because you were sick. Yeah, I remember really you was going. I was trying to fix you up and have you going out there wrapped up. I was like, you were sick.
I was really sick, and I still worked.
But yeah, you still went to work sick. So I think that's another testimony of how God, because nobody in our family, I think, did Ivan get sick? No, he got sick, but it wasn't around.
It wasn't bad as I got sick. I got sick.
He
real
did,
bad.
But no, he got sick, but we didn't know it was COVID.
Oh, really?
He didn't get it. Yeah, he did get sick, but it was just for him.
I was sick for about 4 days.
I think so.
Severely sick, and and then
we just thought it was a flu.
And I went to the doctor. Well, we knew it wasn't the flu because I went to the urgent care, and they tested me and said you don't have flu and you don't have strep throat. So we don't know what it is, but we're going to call it flu-like symptoms. And so that's before that COVID had the name. And so that's how I know I had COVID because they said I didn't have the flu and I didn't have strep throat. But my wife, her being a nurse and just being a caretaker that she is, and she took care of me, and I was able to I still went to work. And God, I'm sorry, anybody. I hope to God that I didn't cause severe sickness to anybody else. I didn't know what I had, so and maybe I just.
But I was giving him stuff to treat all his symptoms. I had him bundled up. He was all bundled up.
But the thing is, I was when I was sick, I could have been passing it unknowingly, and that's the part. I don't think about it. Yes, I survived it, but I hope I didn't give the sickness to somebody else and it caused them severe health or loss of life because I did that. I really, because but then we didn't know though. We didn't know at the time. And then I got it again. I got it twice.
Yeah.
The second time wasn't as bad.
It wasn't as bad as the first time, but the second time you was really scared though. You was only talking about I love you guys, and
I don't even remember that.
Yes,
what are you talking
on
about?
Text message.
I don't remember.
Yes,
that. No.
Not just to me. It was like the whole family. It was like,
what?
Yes, we can call that.
I know.
You were on there. You was like, you was talking as if I was like, Jamal, what are you doing?
No, you making that up.
I'm not making it up. Jamal you were fearful. Yes, you were.
I was not. He's a truth teller. He
don't know. He wasn't on the text message. Okay. When we get off live, we're gonna call.
Ask.
Ivan, when Daddy had got COVID, you remember that?
The second time.
He don't remember. He wasn't on the text message. So how would he know?
I know. I don't believe. No.
You was delirious because you wasn't feeling good.
I wasn't delirious because the thing is, I had it, and the second time it wasn't that bad because I had already gotten it.
You were scared.
I was not scared. No, I was. Okay. I said you have COVID. I said okay, I got it. And I'm just going. And then now that other people were fearful for me. I know Dad was fearful for me, and he was concerned. But I wasn't like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I had COVID, and maybe it lasted for about a day and a half, and after that. That's when I started working at my current job now at AAA, but I couldn't go to work because I still had symptoms. I had to wait till all my symptoms went away. Even though I was feeling better, I was really fine. But they say when I got a COVID test, I kept testing positive for COVID. And then finally, when I stopped testing positive, that's when I was able to work.
And then when Ivan had it, he was scared. Ivan was scared, but I took him outside. I made him walk with it and everything. I said, you got to get some sunlight. When you cough it up and spit it out. So we walked in.
But even in those situations, though, like speaking of COVID, like and this is very hard. But this is where you just have to have faith, as much faith as you possibly can. Like even like when that people are dying or have died, been very sick for you have to have your faith overtake your fear, and then the faith part is like. Here's what I believe with the faith.
You had some people that was being faithful and like going out and still preaching, like but died. Yeah. So it's faith in. So is it?
That's the whole point I'm saying though, because the thing is, see, we think the faith is God's going to always be heal us and be on our benefit. I think the true faith is I'm just going to trust. I'm just going to be obedient to God despite the political or what's going on, because that's the faith right there. That's the faith. The circumstance is not faith. Like just because you got blessed. It's faith, and then
what about the people blessed. Like the preachers that went out and said, what, I believe God gonna take care of me, and they still died.
They can have faith, but doesn't mean necessarily will be the blessing part. Because the thing is, the faith part is, I think as Christians, we should be like, okay, I'm going to have the faith, and I'm going to preach or do whatever that God calls me to be. But despite whatever the circumstance, whether I die doing this or God happens to bless me and continue this, that I know at the end of the day, my faith is I'm going to be in heaven. That's the faith part. That's the true ultimate aligning faith, because when we take up our cross, I say like if you were going like back in the day, like in 1950s, 60s, whatever, they had missionaries, right? Some missionaries are going into countries where they will kill you for being a Christian if they followed you, right? Mm-hmm. And so they literally did this. Like they said, okay, they put their stuff, their belongings in the casket. Like they already bought the casket. They purchased the casket. They put their belongings in the casket. So basically, like my faith is I'm going to try to tell these people about God. And if I die, well, I have faith that God's going to protect me, but I'm bearing my cross because that's what Jesus said. That's the faith. The faith part is not the circumstance of getting blessed or dying. The faith is I'm going to be obedient, and despite no matter what. That's the true faith right there. Mm-hmm. Not the circumstance of all right, God's going to protect. Like that's like a testimonial. That's the circumstance of what happened to you. Like okay, cool. I have faith. And I hope that God, I have faith that God's going to protect me. And he does. Even if you die, he protects you because Jesus said people that try to save their life will lose it. People that, risk their life, lose their life will save it. So if you lose your life, you save it because guess what? You are in eternal heaven. So it's not about what's in this world. It's a spiritual matter. Like, okay, cool. I might have lost my life in this world, but because I did it doing God's works, I'm in heaven. And nobody can, we right now, while we're in this world, we can't see that or feel it right now. But that's what our faith truly is. And so we should look at the faith as for as like a positive circumstance. That's the point. And that's my point going back to like being fearful of like the Trump or whatever the current administration is. Like my faith is no matter what, I'm gonna keep being obedient to God, no matter who or what is or the circumstance, whether it's COVID, a current administration, whatever. If God blesses me, so be it. Thank you, Lord. I have faith in you the whole time. Thank you. Or if I don't get blessed and I die in that situation, I have faith because I follow God. I have Jesus Christ, who I'm following. I'm doing his works while I'm faithful, that I'm going to be in heaven. That's the ultimate faith, not the circumstance of what happens.
All right, Pastor Holloway. Y'all see Pastor Holloway. Let's say, everybody say amen and give him a hand clap of praise. But see, this is so off, y'all, but y'all see we matching colors. Pastor, First Lady. How y'all think? What y'all think about that? I call him Pastor sometimes. Sometimes he can act like one and sometimes he doesn't. So right now I can call him Pastor. Here we go, nothing. I'm just saying. Do I look like First Lady? I got my necklace on that comes with my dress. I got my necklace. And you missing a tie.
This is a suit. It doesn't come with a tie, so it's a Michael Strahan suit. I have a jacket behind me. You can't see it.
Oh yeah, you got your jacket on.
And so it didn't come with it. It's not supposed to. It's like a sports suit. So sports suits don't necessarily come with a tie. So okay. Yeah, I can wear a tie with it. I have before, and it looks nice. But the suit did not come with a tie, or it's really not meant to be worn with a tie because it's a sports suit.
Okay. Well, I think we have exhausted our hour of sharing with you guys. It was fun.
Mm-hmm,
we look forward to doing it next week. If you all have a topic when you go back and listen to this video that you would like us to talk about, put it in the chat and so we can read it, and then maybe we can talk about it next week.
That'd be cool. So looking forward to anybody, just share this video.
If you could share it, that would be great. Like it, share it.
And comment,
comment, And if you have any questions, DM us. And if you're scared to ask the question out loud, just DM us, and we'll respond back to you that way as well.
Okay, cool. All right, you guys,
check it out.
Have a blessed day. Bye, guys.